All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RWS team interviews. I don't know what to call these little things. But today I have Lauren Panoff here. She is another one of my wonderful RWS content and strategy team members. So I will let her introduce herself and tell us all about what she does for our team.
Awesome. Hi. I brought my big coffee because I only bring out the big guns for the coffee chats with Anna.
I don't even
Um,
have coffee. My water
Dude,
cup is empty.
it's like 12 o'clock here and I'm just now getting to it. So here we go. Yes, hi, my name is Lauren. I have been a dietitian for 13 years. Um, and yeah, I've been writing with Anna for about this is like year 5 or 6.
Mhm.
So it's been a while because I remember I started with you when I was pregnant with my youngest. And I was like, hi, I have to take a break in a minute because I have a baby. But like, do you like me? Because can we be friends?
I had just had a baby too. Like I hired you guys because I had just had a baby. So I felt like, you know, I can't
Right?
have lack of compassion for that.
We get it, right? It's fine. Um, yeah, so obviously I have a background in nutrition, food science, and then my master's degree is in public health. I wasn't always writing. I mean, I was writing like for fun and like my own stuff, but I didn't get into writing professionally until about 6 years ago. So before that, I was working in like the clinical setting, like right out of internship, like many of us do, most of us do. I was doing some outpatient counseling for eating disorders. And then I went into dietary supplements, testing and project management, and then standards development. And then I started having kids and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So I had to figure out, I still want to work. What do I like to do? I really like to write. I think I'm good at it. And so here we are, you know, all the years later.
All these years later. So you have a specific interest in the field of nutrition, which is hat right now. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I have been plant-based for 10 years personally, and that is my niche of choice. It's kind of, when you can find something you're really passionate about and translate it into your career path, it's just super fulfilling. So I feel really lucky to have been able to make that work. But yeah, it's funny. I was working in the hospital setting, just like eating like everybody eats, like the standard American diet, and I was finding that I couldn't really relate to my vegetarian patients that would come in and they'd be like, here, come give them this diet education. And I'd print out like the vegetarian, nutrition care manual thing and bring it in there and be like, I don't really understand what I'm talking about. So it kind of all started as like a personal challenge to like go home and be like, okay, how do I replace this chicken that's on our plate every night with like beans or tofu or lentils or like figure out how to actually use these things. So, that took some time because I just didn't really eat that way ever. And then I really enjoyed it. And you just start learning more about why people adopt a plant-based diet. I became um, just really educated about it. And it really just resonated with me personally. So yeah, no looking back for me. And yeah, so now I'm lucky to have that kind of as my expertise working with a lot of plant-based brands who are looking to connect better with their audience, advertise their products in a way that is, just successful with meeting the right consumers where they are and being interesting and even getting, people who don't eat plant-based, like interested in trying something plant-based, because the food system has changed so much and there's still so much work to be done. So it's been really fun to connect with those brands that way.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit like there has been such an explosion in plant-based products. And we were talking about it separately a few weeks ago. But do you see this as an opportunity for dietitians to get involved with plant-based brands, and why should they?
Yeah, I mean, I think just looking back, gosh, when I was, this is a tangent, when I was 10, I had my best friend was vegan, and like vegans were so weird back then, right? She's not weird anymore, but like people think that you're kind of weird.
Tennessee, you are. Sorry.
I'm still 80% weird. Um, People have made it so normalized now for the most part. I mean, there's still a lot of stereotypes and there's still, the loudest people in the room that kind of make it that way. But um, it's become, I think, a very foundational part of our food system and where things are going. So I would say it's absolutely worth being interested in, trying to work with those types of, I mean, because I like to say it's a food trend, but it's not a trend. It's there. The way that it has grown so much over the last 20 years, and it continues to grow with new things coming out. I mean, if you're looking for something to get into that's not going away anytime soon, like I would definitely say plant-based alternative proteins, cultivated meats, stuff like that, because that's definitely where we're headed.
Well, I also think that working with a registered dietitian for your marketing is a way to bridge that gap between the weird and the not. I don't want to say normal, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that a dietitian can help you communicate with your customers to take them on that journey of, like, this is some weird stuff. I don't understand what it is, blah, blah, blah. But like taking them and showing them that it's not that weird, or that these are the benefits, or that this is how you should look at it instead, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Because it's more than just like being an influencer and being like, oh, this is really cool. It's actually, you understand the science of it and you understand how we've gotten from A to B, and the nutritional value of what they're selling and how they can market it differently. And it is a really cool space. And I'm like super geeked about all of the changes that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's a booming market. And I see in the research that I do in looking for brands that are getting funding, a lot of them are plant-based brands, and funding means money to pay dietitians and writers.
That's right. It's in the money funnel.
Awesome. So give us some kind of takeaway about plant-based eating, and maybe where you see the future going with this, and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Um, Gosh, I'm super optimistic about it, not just because my family eats this way, but, um, all of the changes that I'm seeing, there's, there's very few areas in the food system where like money and politics are not playing a huge part. I don't think that plant-based is immune to that, but I do think that there's a little bit less going on in certain aspects of that. So it's just more of a straight shooting market, I think. There's not a lot to tiptoe around. There's certainly controversies and stuff, but I think for the future, you know, education is key. And this is why writing for these brands and partnering with them is super, super important as a dietitian, as a writer, because we have the power to get the evidence-based actual truth out there in a way that people actually want to listen to it. Um, so, once consumers have the knowledge that they need, then they can make informed choices, right? That's what we all want. We want to have the information so we can make the best choice for ourselves and our families. Um, and then I think people are just going to make more of that shift. We're pretty disconnected from where our food comes for the most part, as far as like the standard American diet. We don't really talk about it. We don't talk about animal agriculture really at all unless you've been to a like a big factory farm. We have no idea what goes on there because we're so shielded from it. So why would people question it? Because all we see is the stuff in the store that we're purchasing. um so as far as the future of it, I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. Maybe one day. I do think that the factory farming, like industrial agriculture, of animals, is going to start to shrink. And I do think that these plant based alternatives will continue to grow. And I think that more people will start to make that shift, even if they're not totally ditching animal products, like, whatever. I think just adding more plants to our diet is super important. And I do think that um, all the cool stuff coming out, I mean, gosh, there's like plant-based bacon, plant-based chicken, plant-based butter, like everything that you could want is there.
Yeah.
So it's fun to experiment with. It's fun to see if, your meat loving friends like can tell the difference. It's fun to just like send these things with your kids to school.
Mhm.
So I think we'll just continue to see more of that because, there's a lot, I think, uncharted territory still.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time and insight and all
Of
the
course.
work that you do for us, spreading a plant-based message and giving us a different perspective as a team, um, learning about all this cool new stuff.
Yeah, go veg.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.